What's up, folks? John back with another recap for you. Today is Monday. Beautiful Monday, the 31st of July. Last day of the month, folks. Today was another, I'd call it a good day. I mean, it was a massive day, guys. Massive. I got a whopping $8. And you take fees. I took a couple trades. If you take fees out, it's about $6. So I took a couple put trades. First one was on SPY. Second one was on Q. Q was the profitable trade, so I got myself in the hole right away. I got in this thing at the SPY trade at 10:35, and ended up getting out here at about 10:50. And I just was not patient enough. This trade actually would have worked out, and I would have been able to get out of it for at least 10 to 20 cents. I haven't looked, but I just was not patient enough. So I got out of this with I think it was like a $19, $20 loss. So, but I ended up just being patient and saw that, the Q and the SPY were just really being weak. And let me get into the chart so it makes more sense. But let's go to the SPY trade first. Okay, here we are. So here we have the 10-minute, the 5-minute right here. This is hourly, this is daily, and this window is where I'll pull the stock option that I'm interested in. So what I was seeing here, number one, there was this nice pop up and this dump. Now, when I saw this nice 5-minute candle here, and I held back from taking the trade, but I thought this could happen. I didn't, I wouldn't have guessed all the way down to the opening range low, but it would have been a great trade. It was just a little before the opening range had been set, so that's what left me a little bit apprehensive to take it, and so I didn't. So I was a little annoyed, right? That could have been one and done. If I would have hit that, I'm done for the day. Boom. So then you gotta wait for especially on the puts, I didn't catch the upside. This was just a rough look, right? One option here would have been to catch the ORB low and look for some support there, but it just happened so abruptly. This just looked pretty ugly, basically, and it would have worked though. You definitely would have got your pop and been able to get in and out, be done. So I didn't do that. So I was in the unfortunate position of, which can be a little dangerous, is waiting for, after a dump, waiting for that trek back up to go to find a short. So I got in, I think it was I had seen this, right? But then now where did I get in? Let me check my monitor real quick. I got in at 10:35 on SPY. 10:35. Oh, right. Oh, you know what happened to me? This is what happened. We were getting to 10:35. I definitely saw this dump, but this candle here on the 10-minute, it was really nice, and it was just nice and even with this green one, right? So it was this beautiful, complete rejection of this candle, this green candle, and then boom, 10:35 hit, and I got in, and then right after I got in, I said, oh crap, dude, I was thinking it was basically the 10-minute candle didn't close, and I was like, what the heck? And then I realized, oh god, I got in before the 10-minute candle closed, because I was really liking it on the 10-minute. This 5-minute is just way too abrupt. I would never get in off of it. It's just, that look is just so, I've just seen that look so many times. It's so aggressive, that volatile push down. I know it's not going to just keep going straight down after that. That'd be super rare. So, but this looked good on the higher time frame to just completely take out that green candle. So I thought that was closed. So I got in. I was like, God, it wasn't. But I was telling myself, like, man, that is an honest mistake. I just screwed up. because if that was going to close, I think that's a fair trade to get into. This rejection. Also, this line right here is yesterday's high, or excuse me, Friday's high, right? This pinkish line here. So I got in a bit early, and I got at this bad entry down here, right? I was like all the way down here, so it was just a really crappy entry, and ultimately part of the problem is I was also watching the Qs, and it was pushing a bit better, and I kept putting these together and going, oh, the SPY is going to really follow suit. These guys are probably going to come up and go all the way up to the ORB high, and I was fearful of that because I knew that was a possibility. I don't love entering a trade around this mid range, right, at VWAP in this mid area. So I was apprehensive in it, and I ended up getting out somewhere in here. I think on this looks about right, but somewhere it might have been on this close, but it was one of these green candles. I was like, this just looks like, I think it was this one here. When this closed, I was like, oh, okay, we got this nice support on the 10-minute. This is very likely gonna to go back up, and I don't want to take a big loss on this, so I got out. But I kept watching it, and I became a little bit annoyed because I realized like there was no, because basically if I'm going to get into this, I really shouldn't be getting out technically, unless there's like something really aggressively closing around this high here, like the high of this candle. And ultimately it would have been painful, especially this candle, right? Because this was green up here when it popped all the way up here. That would have been annoying and like, dang it. But if I would have just been patient and let these work themselves out, there was really no reason to get out. And you can see here this beautiful rejection of that area on the 5. This would have been a perfect entry. And like this, and then you're kind of, and then you're, I realized, I'm emotional about it, and I didn't re-enter right here, or even right here. This looked great on the 10-minute to re-enter. And then this was a sweet little trade. And you didn't need to go all the way down here. Especially, lately I've been doing one contract, so I wouldn't have held all the way till here. That would have been a mistake. I would have wanted to get out here. So, anyways, if I would have held through that mess, because this was just being a consolidating mess. It was not a great day. It was really, it was a really consolidating type day that not easy to trade on the SPY. So. Or trade. So the fact that I made money at all, I'm happy about that. But anyway, so I started out with a loss, which sucked, and then eventually figured out it could have not been a loss. So that's always annoying. But then I started watching the Q, and I got in the Q at 11:20 and out at 11:32, and that got I got in at 52 cents, got out at 79 cents. So that was a good little trade there. Let me pull the Q up here. All right, so here we are with the Qs. Basically, it was the same idea, right? I had also been watching the Qs in the morning. We had this really nice, strong push up, and then this excellent 10-minute rejection. And again, this was a bit, this was closed at 9:50, so this was like 10 minutes before there was technically an official orb, right? But I thought there was a very good chance that would be it, right? And I didn't, and I thought about getting the trade, but just didn't pull the trigger. And again, it was annoying. I saw it on the SPY and the Q, and just didn't do it. So it's annoying when that could have just been a great, quick, your really instant gratification trade, right? You get in and boom, it's right, and then boom, you're done for the day. So again, dealing with the emotions of that and trying to just ignore them. Which I did fine, to be honest. But then it pops off the low, and I even thought about, I was just thinking potentially this bounce off this ORB low. I could get in because it pretty much touched it pretty nicely. It was just so much volatility, right? It was such a huge candle. I just didn't really want to enter, but just on the technicality, I'm talking these orb levels, man. Like if you would have got in, it would have worked out. Or if you would have said, okay, I'm just gonna get in on a nice pullback because I'm assuming this will go up, it still would have worked. But sometimes they're so much nicer, and we can even I'll even show you some. It looked better on the SPY today, but like I just for sure could have played a bump off the orb low today off SPY. But anyways, I'm getting a little distracted here. So again, Q's drop, and I'm waiting for this to roll over a little bit. So this is 10-minute here. So I saw this, but just for some reason didn't enter. I just wanted to see if I could get a little more confirmation. I saw this and I was like, okay, good, I didn't enter. And then we got this nice 10-minute candle. This was a good area on the daily. Let's see if I can pull that up. Right there. Yeah, that was just this level here, kind of off this candle. But anyhow, I saw this nice 10-minute, which is rejecting around this area. And I was thinking I could get some downside. So I got in here and I got out in this candle. Now I got out probably about halfway here. And so I got like, I don't know, I forget what, like 35 cents or something. But man, if it was a little bit frustrating because right when I got out, it just dumped. Like it dumped the rest of the way. And that would have been like, it was like an extra, it was like an extra 15 cents, 15, 20 cents. I was like, geez, that's a big difference, right? So I made it for my loss though, right? So I ended up being plus $8, but like, so if I would have had that, I would have been plus like, 20 something bucks, and been another solid day because this is a small account. But at the end of the day, I obviously made a pretty good decision because it got bought up pretty hard, and I just don't want to deal with that. I wanted to be able to, if I can get in and get out, love it. So, but yeah, so that was the Q trade that made up for that SPY loss, and that put me over positive. So that at the end of the day, I think I played it pretty well and was pretty patient, and just saw that this was definitely topping over time, and it made sense to short. You had this level here. I think I'd also drawn out the fib, like so, and so that's hitting this. Here's the 61.8. Here's the 70, and so it looked good to at least get some downside. You never know how much you're gonna get, but oh, I'm sorry, this right here is not sorry, this line here I was mentioning, that's not just a level, that's from like the daily. That's actually the fib that I have. I've got a fib going from here to the here I'm on the daily, going from the top to the most recent little low, and so. And you can see we pop back up, and so that's a really important area, the 70.7 fib. So I had a lot of confidence we should get some sort of rejection off that. So anyway, let me go over some good examples of the SPY. So I wanted to show you before I go a really good example that I saw and just didn't take, but it would have been a great little scalp. And sometimes, I mean, where the market's been, like sometimes you'll just bottom tick the thing and it will just blast off the rest of the day. It'll just grind up the rest of the day. So you never know. But if we're looking at the orb low, you can see you had to be patient, but it came down, tested. It looks nasty when you're there. You're like, oh, this thing's gonna go through. Dude, not necessarily at all. And then you get this nice second buy up here, and that would have been a great entry right here, or even better on the 5-minute over here, right? It gets bought up, pushes, sells off, comes back, looks ugly, but then you get this nice support here. Boom, get in right here, somewhere here in this candle, and you would have got a nice scalp up here. I mean, even if you took it just up to here, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get out kind of this area, this moving average area. Boom. And or just be a little patient and see what it's going to do, and keep your finger on the trigger. But anyways, long story short, that would have been a great little scalp off the orb low. And here, look, it comes and tests again. You had another opportunity, this beautiful little support here. Boom, could have got in and rode this up to VWAP, or wherever however how you want. But I mean, the tricky part is obviously you can see as the day went on, you do have to be careful. Right here's a support. Here, it looks maybe really good, right? There's two green candles, right? Like a real bottom, and that happened to be a fake out. But that is so end of day, man. The end of day, right? It's just, you have to be super careful. So I would have been very suspicious. I really don't even. I rarely would trade at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know. It's been such a long time because it's just so sketchy. But whatever, you know, if it rejected against you, boom, right there, you're like, okay, I'm out, and then you take a loss. You know, don't let it go too far against you. If you were crazy and you really held on, which doesn't make sense, then it would work out real nice. But because we had this huge pop at the end of the day, which made the day like nearly even, which is just ridiculous. You know, you have this grind down the whole day, and then boom, pop at the end, and oh, it's a green day. Look at that. But anyhow, that's my trade recap for the day. It was another positive day, so I'm on a good track. I think the account's somewhere around 196 now. So, you know, the next step is to just keep patient, keep calm, get this thing over $200, and eventually just start doing more than one contract, so that I can take one off and hold out for a little bit longer. Targets, you know, profit targets. All right, folks. Well, thank you for tagging along. It's been fun, and I hope to see you at the next one.